It is Monday, September 1st, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. It is your monthly Monday main channel takeover. We're here on Fightful instead of our typical Fightful overbooked home, but it's the first of the month. It's the first Monday of the month, so we are taking over, baby. Jeremy Lambert and I are always here. Always 5 days a week we do things. I don't do it 5 days a week. Jeremy does, but this show is 10 a.m. Eastern every day on Fightful Overbooked. But today you get it on main because we like it that way. That's what we do. I mentioned Jeremy Lambert. He is here. We got plenty to talk about on a marvelous Monday. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing well. It's a long weekend. It's always a long weekend, but we are here. We're ready to go on main channel.
And we're going to do everything in our power to get this show canceled and just move back to overbooked where you're used to seeing us. What is this show? It's a morning show. Do we talk about wrestling? A little bit. Yeah, sure. We go on tangents. We do everything. It is literally the morning shows you're used to, maybe on the road or maybe while you're watching something else. We are the background fodder to your day. So congratulations to us. We are second-class citizens in your ear.
Second-class citizens in your ear.
You know, I used to have my favorite tagline for the show was "Wrestling is fake, and so are these takes."
Yeah,
I think we just topped it.
Yeah, second-class citizens for your ear is pretty good.
Yeah, that's going to be us. But we're not second-class citizens for you to leave a thumbs up on the video. How about that? Greatest plug I've ever done. You wanna hit that pyro if you can? I know you gotta smile too through the pain. There it is. Hey, they went quicker today. It must be Monday.
Yeah.
Go ahead, leave us thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to this channel. There's over 200,000 people subscribed to Fightful, but subscribe to this one, and of course to Overbooked, where we are. Fightful Overbooked is the URL or the channel name. We're there 5 days a week, 10 a.m. Eastern, plus a plethora of other shows and videos that drop, coexisting with Rob and Maggie. They're always there. The Spotlight with Jeremy and Steven Jensen, that's over there. We got stuff. There's stuff every day, so go and join that. And of course, you can donate a super chat any amount, get your question or your statement read on the air. Tell you what, because it's a monthly Monday takeover, I will open up the Humper chats as well because I have access, and because it's the main, some people want to donate through that. And let's face it, today's money doesn't go to us anyway. May as well support the channel. Subscribe to Fightful Select. And yeah, there you go. Where am I going here? I'm trying to get into the Humper chats. Jeremy, you survived the weekend. You didn't have a super late Sunday, I'm hoping. The show ended. Show ended by 6 Eastern.
Yeah. And then the new press conference format's dumb, but I'll give them credit in the fact that they wrapped that thing up quickly. Like, they had Cena up there, they had Triple H up there. Triple H said nothing of substance, and then it was over. I was like, you know what? Good on you. It was over before AEW press conferences started. And I think AEW press conferences have been like fine lately. Like, they get the wrestlers there, they ask 2 or 3 questions, the wrestlers give pretty short, concise answers. Tony talks a little too long about things, but the press conferences are done within 45 to an hour, which is like fine. But then you tack on the wait time, which is at least half an hour, and it just becomes way too long of a thing. If AEW could just start their thing, we've talked about it all the time, but they could start it sooner, they'd be in a lot better shape. Meanwhile, WWE, they start immediately and they end about half an hour later. Bless them.
And again, this is like you said, something we talk about all the time. Part of the reason with AEW is because Tony is there for the entirety of the pressers, and so as a result, he's got to tie up whatever loose ends are coming off of the broadcast, whether that's checking on talent or if it's just whatever, squaring up stuff for whatever's happening next. He takes his time to get there. Whereas the WWE panel is very much like, keep the show moving, keep it going. Paul's going to show up and do his shtick when he's ready or when we get him. So they'll fill out the rest of the show with whatever wrestlers need to come out and do it. So yeah, I get it. I really wish that they would start the AEW pressers sooner, just like you were saying. But at least they're not 2.5 hours anymore, for the most part.
Yeah, they've definitely tightened them up. The Ring of Honor one, I was just annoyed because it was 12 o'clock before that thing. It was 12:30 before that thing started. And then it was an hour-long press conference, so it's 1:30, just a long night. I hate when they start so late. I'm like, why do we need a Ring of Honor press conference? What are we really going to accomplish here? And we didn't accomplish a whole lot, honestly.
Not much. The show had the stories instead. By the way, for chat who's asking about American versus Canadian holidays, yes, I am Canadian. I am from Toronto. Jeremy's in Ohio. He is American. It's Labor Day here too in Canada, by the way. Things are closed here too, so that's what it is. Everything's closed. It's Labor Day on both sides of the border, so deal with it. TNA pressers, yeah. Well, they were doing like pre-show events for a couple of the big ones, and those were, I mean, think of what you will. Remember when they used to do the press pass, the big old kayfabe event? Yeah,
they had them on like a bus,
That's right.
On a bus. Yeah, they had them in a bus, and they would do the interviews. That was dumb. That was stupid.
Not my favorite. Anyway, I should plug a couple things, by the way. This week on Overbooked, it's a pretty overbooked week. We got interviews, which we typically do on our show, by the way. But this week we have quite a few. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Dijak's going to be joining us. These are all MLW talent, but of course they are names that you absolutely know. Dijak's joining us on Wednesday. Bishop Dyer, the former Baron Corbin's going to be joining us. We're going to try and entice him to come over to In the Weeds, away from his other morning commitments show. I think he needs to come to the good one, the one that really works hard, and really they work hard too, but the one that really knows what they're doing over here. Damn it, we got it. We are that show for Bishop. And on Thursday, Matthew Justice joins the show. You know what I love about Matthew Justice? You can ask him all the metal questions you want, and he will answer accordingly. Ask him about Ozzy Osbourne's passing. He'll give you some thoughts on Ozzy and a plethora of other things, because the man is a hardcore genius. Every match you see him in an MLW, I swear to God, he can't have a regular singles match. Everything has to have some sort of plunder, and I respect him for it. And Dijak on In the Weeds, he's been there before. We've had some really great chats with him too.
And Justice got a Texas Death match coming up against Hammerstone.
Because of course he does.
Yeah. I'll ask him if he's heard Creep by Smashing Pumpkins. And we're getting Dyer. Hopefully, nobody else gets him and addresses Cena.
He's tweeted about it. Right as you decided to
okay.
Go ahead. There you go. You're back. He's tweeted about it, but go ahead.
Yeah, he just tweeted a GIF, which is fine. Like, that's okay. But yeah, he hasn't given any color on Cena using the End of Days. So hopefully he doesn't, and we can get that exclusive. Or if he does say it, hopefully nobody else picks it up and we can still use it as an exclusive.
It's going to be one of those things where you're listening to a Bishop Dyer interview, someone asks, and you're like, I'm just not going to.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk about it. Didn't exist.
I'm gonna hold that for myself here.
That's how you do it, baby. You just suppress the news. You don't tell the news. You suppress it. No Paul London, unfortunately, this round. We'll have Paul on again. For those who aren't up on the lore, Paul London once joined the show. This was his third time, and he sat and fed squirrels while he gave his interview. It was probably
his third time?
That was his third time. May have been his fourth, but definitely his third. He did an entire interview while feeding squirrels. If you haven't seen it yet, it's over in our archives. You can go check it out on the videos tab over on Overbooked. It's literally the one where he has a squirrel on his shoulder and one in front of him. That is the thumbnail. That's the best way to do it. So, since we're here, we got a lot to talk about. Where should we start? Because between SmackDown, Death Before Dishonor, the PLE, and Collision, there was at least something to pull from every single show, some more than others. But I'm going to start with Friday night. There's not much from SmackDown, but SmackDown kind of teases into...
I mean, there's a pretty big thing on SmackDown.
Yeah, John Cena apologized to the Brussels kid, right? That's the thing you're thinking about. Sami Zayn did capture the U.S. Championship. That is something you and I talked about on Friday as maybe being the DQ finish. But instead, no, they pulled the trigger, which... This is kind of the Paul Levesque way, where they're doing the two international shows. So one of those shows is going to have one of those major title change moments, and then the other show is going to have a major story beat moment. And that's what we got this time. We got Sami winning the U.S. title, and then when we get into what happened in Paris at the Clash in Paris, we'll get there. But yeah, Sami wins the U.S. title, and Solo and Jacob Fatu just mean nothing now. Just put him away, pack him up. It's over. Sorry.
Like, I'm fine with Sami Zayn winning the championship. I'm all for Sami winning all the titles. Weird story beat to go from Solo to Sami, is it felt like that should have been. If you don't want to go back to Jacob because you're going to elevate him, okay, I can kind of get that. Felt like that could have been a Jimmy Uso win, though, instead of a Sami win. I'm not going to do the. For some reason, Sammy Hogan has become a meme. It's like, this dude
Why?
rarely ever wins. Why is that a thing? It's, people are just being weird about things when Sami Zayn, of all people, is like, this guy wins too much. It's like, what? In what world?
Tell you what, I will give credence to the Sammy Hogan arguments if Sami Zayn wins 3 matches in a row with the Blue Thunder Bomb. In a row. Blue Thunder Bomb. And that's the win. Then I will give credence to Sammy Hogan. Till then, y'all are out of your minds.
Yeah. The Sammy Hogan thing's stupid. Oh, I'm all for Sami Zayn winning the U.S. title. We love Sammy. It did feel like an odd story beat to go with Sammy and kind of cut off Solo's reign, which I'm not saying Solo needed this long reign or anything, but you had the dude beat Jacob Fatu. I know it was by nefarious means, but you had him beat Jacob Fatu for the title, and you had him defend the title against Jacob Fatu in a cage match at SummerSlam. And the match wasn't very good, but you had him get 2 victories over Jacob Fatu. So to move and go with Sammy a month after that just felt like, that seems a little curious of why you would do that. As long as we just get the end of Bloodline stuff, like, I'm fine with all of this moving forward. Get Solo away from Jacob and Sammy and Jimmy. Get them away from the MFTs. Just get all of them away from each other. It doesn't need to go on any longer. Have Solo do literally anything else. Have Sammy do literally anything else. Have Jacob do literally anything else. I'm tired of them just interacting together. Do something better.
There was a question in the chat. When was the last time Sammy won with the Blue Thunder Bomb? It was actually January. He beat The Miz with the Blue Thunder Bomb. And before that, it was a few years ago, he beat AJ Styles with it. So it's not uncommon, but it's very much not common. I just saw that and I was like, I know this answer. I do. So I wanted to give it. No, I largely agree with you. It's like what we had mentioned, the idea of maybe Solo being pushed up the card as a result of him dropping the US title and then moving on after the cage match. I am curious as to where he goes, because it's not like he's going to go after Cody as a babyface right now, unless suddenly they're doing another babyface feud and Cody's just going through the guy. I don't know. It's a strange situation to be in. And Solo, who I don't know who it was, but I saw some people mention that, Solo carried SmackDown for the last little while. I think there's some credence to that. I don't think that he's, I don't know, hear me out. And that's the thing. I don't think carried is the word, but I think he's done a very good job of being the main character of SmackDown. When Cody was out, or when John Cena wasn't there, or when Cena was doing the silly heel stuff, you had Solo at least building a character and being entertaining. It wasn't always, the stories weren't always great, but at least he was an entertaining character on screen. So he was, like Pile Driver Finisher is saying, he was prominently used. I can't call him like carrying the brand, but I will certainly use that he was featured front and center. And I think that he has become better for it. He's certainly changed a lot in terms of development in character and in the ring. He's not the best in-ring worker, but he is entertaining enough that people will watch his matches. Now I don't know what they do, because I certainly do not wish them to go back to Cody and Solo, because we did that after the first run.
They're not doing that.
Well, I don't think so either, but I don't know where they fit. Maybe they go after the tag titles at this point, for at least Solo side of things.
You've gotta do Jacob getting a big win over Solo. Is the the next beat. I know I just said move them away from each other, and I stand by that. But you've also got to give Jacob the victory because Jacob turned on him but didn't really beat him, right? He lost the U.S. title to Solo. Then he lost the cage match. You got to give Jacob that definitive win and then move on from things after you give Jacob that definitive win.
Could be as easy as that. Or it could just be Bloodline and MFTs go back at it again.
I don't need that.
Jimmy and Jacob versus Solo and the MFTs. And then Sammy gets involved because it's Sammy. And they just do it again.
You're going to move Jay over once Tama Tonga comes back so you can do an 8-man.
Well, what's funny is how many people were like, now Naomi's firmly on Raw, so they're clearly going to put Jimmy over there. And, well, that's not in play anymore because Naomi is going home. She's pregnant. So now it's like we don't need to move Jimmy so quickly if that was the plan. You just kind of you can play it fast and loose because that is the WWE way when it comes to draft and who's on which brand.
Yeah, they don't have a plan when it comes to the brands. They put whoever they want wherever they want. They're not even doing a draft. We don't know if they're going to do a draft. I think they will, but we don't know when.
My feeling, and this is not a report, this is a gut feeling because this is what they've done, is their season premiere, quote unquote, will be the draft week. And that's usually around September.
Today?
Well, no, today's not the season premiere. Today is Labor Day. It's very different. No, but they usually wait until mid-September into early October. And that's when it's usually
mid-September is usually when it is.
Usually it's when Monday Night Football starts up. But because they're doing
next week,
which is next week, and because of that, they've moved a bunch of Raws to 7 p.m. on Netflix, which God bless for that. I'm happy with an hour earlier, but I don't know. Again, this is gut feeling. Ken saying the Raw and SmackDown after WrestlePalooza would be a good time. It might just be it because again, that's the end of September. You can get away with running a draft and making it a big deal and saying you saw WrestlePalooza. Now catch the WWE draft live on Netflix and USA, I guess. Where's SmackDown air in the States? USA? Yeah.
USA, yeah.
They air in way too many places. They got to pick one like they did with their global rights. Canada's the last.
They don't want to do that. We talked about it when they signed the ESPN deal.
Oh, I'm aware. It's money, not convenience.
Yeah, they like being in multiple places because they feel that, well, if we're at 300 different places, that's more eyeballs that could potentially be on us. I don't begrudge them for that. I know it largely comes down to money, but I don't begrudge their thinking on that because that's the thinking of all the major sports. So why should they act any differently?
Again,
I think they're a major sport.
Again, I'm happy. I just turn on my Netflix and I'm good. Or if you go to nordvpn.com/Fightful, they get this plug because it's the main channel today. You can go and sign up for that. You can watch all the Netflix WWE content live as it airs, and it's great. That's how you find out at the very last minute that the Clash PLE was actually sponsored by Riyadh Season, because apparently I had no idea, but it had been promoted the entire way through because Netflix cancels those out. all the promotional content just gets swiped out. It's great. What else? Was there anything else on SmackDown? They didn't do the women's tag title match. They had a weird Piper's not cleared, but then Charlotte was taken out, and then Charlotte came back. It was a weird kind of scenario that they put themselves in. Were they trying to push something, or was this an actual situation?
It kind of felt like they didn't want to do the match because Piper wasn't cleared. And so this was their way out of it. That was my read into it. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just do it with Chelsea? And I said they didn't do it with Chelsea. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want. You could have pinned Alba because I don't think Charlotte and Alexa were losing. But Piper pinned Charlotte last time, so it kind of felt like they were just going to get that win back, and then Piper wasn't cleared. So they didn't want to beat Chelsea because they're doing stuff with Chelsea. And I guess they just didn't want to beat Alba. So it was an odd situation. Like, why didn't you just do this tag team match? I mean, the women's stuff on SmackDown is just right now. Like, they didn't do the advertised tag team match. Instead, they did a singles match. This is, again, why couldn't you beat Alba? they beat Alba in the singles match, so why not just beat her in the tag match? It felt more like let's protect Chelsea on there. And then Michin, it's very funny that I joked Michin hasn't won since she lost a bunch of times, and then here she goes winning in 6 seconds. It's like, hey, let's get Michin another women's U.S. title match. Like, I got nothing against Michin. She actually rules. I love Mia Yim. But these are your best ideas? Is the person who lost every single women's title match gets another U.S. women's title match because she beat someone who hasn't wrestled in 18 months in 6 seconds? You figure something better out. Like, you gotta figure something better out.
Yeah, from a creative standpoint, it ain't great, and that's really the frustrating part. Is like, these wrestlers can wrestle; they know what they're doing, but instead of letting them go and tell a story, it's just like, yeah, roll her up 5 seconds, that's it. LOL, you get a title match next because you beat the manager of the champion. It's very silly. It's not good. Oh, and meanwhile, I got to talk about this real quick. The production on the Jade Cargill and what's her face, the women's champion Tiffany Stratton segment, that was the most how can I put this, Days of Our Lives ass segment I have ever seen. The way it was shot with the like, it's shot through the mirror but on the mirror, and you're getting the reflection of the camera. You got to watch it if you really see. It's very hokey. It was very, Days of Our Lives, very daytime soap. It was very funny. Go back and watch it. But again, the story is like, Jade is now the #1 contender. Okay, we're doing this again. When is the match happening? I hope they do it on TV and not on a WrestlePalooza type show. I just hope they get it in, get it out. And I don't know, maybe second time is going to be enough for Jade to win this match and be the women's champion. They just haven't done much either with Tiffany since WrestleMania. It's just been this. They did the Mojo Rawley mirror scene. No, there was a little more than that, but it was similar. It was similar, but it was a little more.
It was close. I mean,
yeah, she wasn't like going crazy and painting her face though. It was just poorly and very strangely done.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they got a ton of faith. They're always in backstage segments. Like, when was the last time they were in front of the live crowd? Like, they're just always in backstage segments.
It's when they set up the tag match.
And this was the Becky. That's because they have Becky out there.
Yeah.
They obviously trust her. But yeah, this just wasn't great. All right, Jade's the #1 contender because she pinned somebody kind of in a handicap match. It's like, great.
Well, she still got the win, so I guess she's still #1 contender.
Like, she just lost the home.
Yeah,
she just lost her title match.
You bet. And we're back.
Why does winning a tag team match, which again, you pin someone who was in a 2-on-1 situation, why does that make you #1 contender for the women's world title? That doesn't make too much sense. Their women's division's just, I mean, that show's just kind of whatever right now. Like, it hasn't been good for a few weeks now.
Remember when we came out of 3 hours being like, yeah, we're back 2 hours. Things are going to be good again. We can watch the show. And the show at 2 hours is not any better than 3 hours, as 3 hours was starting to find its rhythm. And we were like, all right, don't like 3 hours as a time frame, but 3 hours as a show is starting to work. And it's like back to 2 and you get nothing new.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
It's okay. NXT is the best 2-hour wrestling show on television, right?
NXT, at least, like, I always say it, stuff happens. You might not like the stuff that happens, but stuff happens.
Like Tony D posing in front of a camera saying he's in France.
Well,
good
that
for
didn't
him.
happen on, like, NXT, but sure.
Should have. Is he dead? Is he okay?
Oh, he's not dead. He posed in front of a camera. So
could have been a ghost. Could have been an old photo. So. It could have been someone taking his phone and posting an old photo for him and pretending he's still alive.
I guess so.
A lot of people are ghosts these days in wrestling. Tony D,
a lot?
Eric Young. That's about it.
Okay, that's not a lot.
I would argue 2 ghosts in wrestling is too many.
I don't think it's enough, honestly.
Too many ghosts, too many ghosts. Anyway, shall we fast forward to last night, to the PLE, and then we'll go back to the Ring of Honor and AEW stuff?
Sure.
This felt like a Raw. It was a good show. Don't get me wrong. From matches standpoint, there were some standout matches, and it was a good wrestled show for certain parts. But this felt more like an episode, like a special episode of Raw that they threw together and then made it 2 extra hours long. The show was fine. The big news were the last 2 matches, and otherwise, like, it was a fine show. It finally wrestled. But the big news coming out was Becky seemingly joining the Vision. We're back, baby. It's 2019. Bring on Stomping Grounds. We're gonna get two tag teams, and then we're just gonna fight it out. Who's gonna be the power couple? But what were your overall thoughts of the PLE? Because we all sat and watched it as a family.
I thought it was fine. You know, the matches were, for the most part, good. There's some good stuff. I like Sheamus and Rusev. Thought Roman and Bronson was really good as well. You know, there's nothing like outwardly terrible on the show. I love that the first segment was 52 minutes. That ruled.
Again, felt like a Raw. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. But I will, by the way, I will say this. I do appreciate, because I point this out every time, when a through line occurs throughout the entirety of a show, I appreciate that. And they did that. They found a through line. They made it kind of work with the show. Roman getting taken out, the Vision getting kicked out. Seth, is he going to be okay? Becky being who she is. Like, they did a good job of at least making them the focal point of the show. Even Jey Uso just being, kind of not full of himself, but being a little bit selfish and wanting to go after the title on his own and not team up with anyone. Again, there were some good moments, but it very much felt like Raw. 52 minutes for that opening segment.
Yeah.
Great match, though. I do have to say, I love when 2 dudes just beat the crap out of each other. And the Donnybrook's another one we'll get to. But, I mean, I love Bronson Reed. I've made no qualms about that, made no joke about that. And I thought he delivered in this match. And working with Roman can be an easy piece of cake, because Roman just has to do what Roman does, and he keeps it simple. But those 2 guys, they had a good time beating each other up.
Yeah, I enjoyed that match. And then the post-match beatdown. Roman's got to take time off to film Street Fighter, and he's just Roman, so he's going to take time off anyway. You get some extra heat on Bronson and Braun. I don't know why Jey Uso took so damn long to get out there. Yes, I got a world title match. I can't jeopardize that. All right. It's your cousin getting his ass beat. He didn't wait this long to come save you on Raw. The hell, Jey Uso? Where was the other Uso at? He didn't show up to the arena? He wasn't there because he wasn't booked?
He doesn't have to be there.
He wasn't going to be there to watch his brother potentially win back the world title?
Nah.
That's a shitty family member right there.
They're a shitty family. We already established this years ago.
They're good.
They don't
people
love
now.
each other. They love the titles that they hold.
They're supposed to be good people now.
No, it's wrestling. Nobody's good.
I like the beatdown angle. I assume I'm frozen and then nobody can.
No, now you are. I mean, you had a good 5-second leeway until you decided to lose it. You'll be back in a second. I like the beatdown too. If I were the crowd, I would be very upset that I didn't get my signed Jordans. He was signing those things. Just he's gonna throw them. He got one off into the crowd, and then a great heat. Braun Breaker just screwing him out of getting them shoes.
How do we know that like security or whatever didn't give him the shoes afterwards?
We don't, but you know what? I like to think that the security took the shoes and we're just like, oh hell yeah, free Jordans, let's go. I'm getting paid tonight, they said.
That was a really, really strong angle. It was long. The match was probably a little too long, honestly. Like, it was a good match, but I probably would have shaved a little bit of time off of it, especially with that long post-match beatdown afterwards. You know, Roman taking out Heyman, locking him in the guillotine, like that was cool as well. It was strong stuff. It was just, did we need 52 minutes for that entire thing? And the answer is probably no. But that's what we got. 52 minutes of that.
This is a question, by the way, that we would ask Roman in an interview setting. What size shoe do you wear, Roman? The only question. You got one question with Roman Reigns. You're in a scrum situation. People are like, can you ask about, how important it is to have the next generation, how important your family is to the business? No. Jordans. What size Jordans you wear, Roman? Why, you got some for me? No, I just have questions about them. That's all.
I wouldn't ask Roman how important his family. You already know the answer to that. That's a dumb question. Shoes is way more important to him than his family.
That's right. We know what to ask these questions. Sup, legend? How much water does it take to keep his hair wet? Use that baby oil, baby. It's just you stay slick all the time.
He's done like a TikTok on like how much what are the kind of product he puts in his hair. He says it's like a Samoan secret though.
Yeah, water's a real Samoan secret.
I think he put something else in. I don't think it's like just water.
It's probably leave-in conditioner, and he just leaves in too much. That's probably all it is. I don't wash my hair for 3 weeks. That's the trick. It's really itchy up in my scalp area. This is why we'll never get a Roman interview. But regardless, he got taken out. And what was really funny was at the pre-show, Michael Cole just being like, Roman Reigns is going to walk Jey Uso out for the main event. You're like, well, there goes that.
Yeah, but that was good. Like, that was a good setup to, Roman's not going to be there for the main event. And it was a good setup to get Bronson and Braun, barred from ringside, or else they'd be suspended because of their actions. Like, it telegraphed, okay, well, Seth is going to have someone come in. We're not just going to do clean Seth Rollins match here. But they set everything up well to get to the point where, all right, who is going to run in and help Seth?
Should have been Skinny Rock.
Oh, okay, sure.
Could have been it. Yeah, there you go. He uses L'Oreal Kids shampoo. Doesn't get your eyes. It doesn't hurt your eyes. But yeah, that's the main event. We'll get into that right now because we're there. 4-way for the title. France crowd was very excited for everybody. They got to yeet. They got to sing. They got to chant. They did so much chanting. So many chants. It's almost as if they're the stars of the show. Anyway, CM Punk was about to win, and then he gets knocked out in the dick because that's what happens. The person, by the way, you know my rule. Person who gets kicked in the dick or does the dick kicking, they are the winner of the night. Becky Lynch, congratulations. You've won my MVP of the PLE by taking out CM Punk's JUNK. PP? Could have used that. That probably would have worked better. Anyway.
Yellow Diamonds.
Becky Lynch joins her husband and the Vision. Will this be different from 2019? They are not baby faces this time. They have been married for much longer. They have done much more work on their characters. This is a possibility of a refurbished Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins tag team. The Seth Riders, as we call them.
It is very funny that they're doing similar stuff, and now people are acting like the Death Rider stuff at this point was good as well, which it wasn't. Like, when they were doing the 4-way stuff, no one liked that stuff. No one liked any of the Death Rider stuff after the initial shock and awe of it happened. And then it turned the corner with everything. But now they think that it's like, oh, the original Death Rider is so good that now WWE is copying it and doing the same thing, and now the WWE version is bad. Nothing like making something look better. It's like this Family Guy scene where, and I'm sure this happens to other things. Family Guy is just the one that comes to mind, where they have like Meg and she's at school and they have like this uglier girl next to her, and Meg's like, who are you? And then the girl's like, oh, I was hired to stand next to you to make you look better. And Meg is like, I don't need that. And then a boy comes over, and then the boy is like, Meg, what are you dissing Meg? And Meg's like, come here. Pulls her ugly friend over. It's like, look. It's like, oh, wow, Meg, you're so great. That's what this Death Rider thing feels like. It's like, no, the Death Rider thing still wasn't good to start. But now they just pull over the Seth Riders. They're like, but look what we got over here. It's like, all right, the Death Riders, you don't look so bad. Now all of a sudden.
It's us, but with more lights and pyro. You like that. Woo, big lights and flashes.
Yeah. I'm all for Becky joining this group. We pitched Becky joining this group months ago.
That is true. This was a long form conversation.
This was a short as well because I believed in this idea so much. Oh, I had no problem with Becky joining this group. I think it's good. I think it's smart. They're not who they are with 2019, where they were like baby faces, but there was real no connectivity to them as baby faces outside of husband and wife. This is at least it's much easier to pull us off with heels, and Becky's been referencing Seth in like every single promo as well. So it's a lot easier connectivity with them being heels and doing this. So I think I thought it was a good kind of closing segment. I think it'll be a good kind of bridge for things. And it looks like we're going to get AJ Lee back. They are heavily implying and teasing that we're going to get AJ Lee out of this. And I'd say I can't imagine them doing this and not having AJ Lee, but I 100% can imagine them doing this and not having AJ Lee. But I also think that they wouldn't tease it so much if they didn't have relative assurances that they were going to have her.
Our show has forever been the set your expectations low show. That's not just for watching us and our comments, but it's also for watching wrestling in general. Keep your expectations low, because for all you know, CM Punk is going to get Chelsea Green, and that's going to be how they do it. I don't think it's that much, but like Ryan's saying in the chat, it could be Kelly, Mickey James, someone who has some sort of background with Punk. It'll be Roxanne Perez. They'll pull her out of the Judgment Day, and that's what they'll do. But there's credence to it. Fightful Select did report that AJ Lee's name has been brought up in numerous pitches, and while nothing has officially been done regarding her return, they've been out there. There have been names dropped with her in it. So we'll see. Rooms have discussed her return. Hasn't been always shot down. But this might be the best opportunity that they have to bring her back. If not for a one-off, then at least for some sort of appearance. And I don't know if this is like something she would do as a long-term or even 1-year arc, or if she would just do a one and done story. Maybe she just wants that final closure, because her last match was the multi-woman match at Mania 31, and then she came out the next year and ran down the whole Divas division, or was that 32?
What?
Was that it? Yeah, it wasn't. No, she did the Total Divas tag. That was at 31.
Did she wrestle the last night on Raw or the following night on Raw?
And then she dropped that promo, and that was it. That promo?
She didn't do a promo and then leave.
Oh, then I'm just thinking of something else. I'm thinking of the promo that she cut where she ran down everybody.
Yeah, that wasn't.
She ran on the Divas.
That was before everything. She didn't do a match and then a promo and then bounce.
Oh, well, she should have just bounced after the promo. That's just what I'm thinking. But fine, my brain. She teamed with Paige. That was the last night.
She teamed with Paige and Naomi. That was the Raw after Mania. Yeah, she teamed with Paige at Mania against the Bellas.
That's
Raw after Mania. She teamed with Paige and Naomi, and that was her last match. No, she just went quietly. That was her last match. I'm pretty sure she wasn't on TV again after that. Just peaced out. Good on her.
Good for her. Well, apparently that might not be her last appearance, so it could happen. We'll find out. SmackDown's in Chicago this Friday, but also Seth is a very raw character. I don't know if
you don't need Seth there.
Oh, why would you bring out one without the other? Why would you bring out AJ without her coming to deal with her opponents?
It's just Punk. Punk's there.
No, but the idea is that AJ is the inclusion of AJ should be to heat up the angle with the other two.
Do you bring her out at all before the pay-per-view? Do you just have Punk tease her? Yeah. But you don't actually get her until the pay-per-view. They clearly want to do something with WrestlePalooza. I mean, you're getting Cena and Brock on that show. You're getting Cody and Drew, and you might be getting the return of AJ Lee. They're putting a lot of eggs into, hey, we're going to load up WrestlePalooza. Don't watch AEW. Why not do the thing of, yes, AJ will be there. It's heavily confirmed that she's going to be there. But if you want to see her first appearance, you got to watch WrestlePalooza. We ain't giving you that on Raw or SmackDown. You got to tune into WrestlePalooza.
You forgot the part where they're probably going to give the tag titles to Post Malone and Jelly Roll.
I mean, honestly,
at this point, they might be involved.
Those were the stars of the
they were
ESPN commercial. All those that they have.
They were all over last night's show too. Last night's show. So could be. Who knows? Regardless, they're clearly booking something for WrestlePalooza. They want this to be a big show that counter programs all out, because look at that. Suddenly the NXT shows aren't powerful enough. Who'd have thought? Post Malone and Most Malone is a very funny way to put it. I don't think they're going to wait on her appearance.
No.
And that's only because, with the exception of the Cody return, they haven't done it's a rumor return since then that I can think of. Has there been we thought it would happen? Rusev, but I don't really count Rusev. I'm talking a big, unexpected return. And I don't count Brock, because that's a whole other.
That wasn't even a rumor. That was just unexpected.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. There hasn't been a rumor return that I can think of that has been on that level. Again, like the Cody rumor, where it was weeks and weeks of waiting, and then he came back and it was like this unconfirmed confirm.
Okay, but when have they had the opportunity to do it? And I mean, The Rock was kind of rumored-ish, because when he was in not so much the Bad Blood one, but the September return before that, when he was on McAfee's show in Colorado. He was on McAfee's show the day of, and people were like, oh, is The Rock going to show up here? And that didn't lead to anything. He just buried Austin Theory. It didn't lead to anything more, at least that night. Of course, people are like, oh, The Rock, they set up so much on there. They haven't had too many opportunities to do it. They've just, the Cody one was an opportunity, and they went for it. This is just another opportunity, because as long as you can deliver, who cares if you're doing it on a rumor? What do you need to get AJ Lee out there beforehand for? Why do you need to put her out there beforehand? I don't think they do. That doesn't mean they won't. I just don't think they need to. If they have her, as long as you can deliver on the rumor, I don't think they need to put her out there. You have Punk. You have Punk get beat down again tonight, honestly. You have Chicago. He does his big speech in Chicago he issues the challenge, and he goes, WrestlePalooza, you and Becky against me, assuming they have AJ. You make it very obvious. You don't tease of somebody else. You make it very obvious of you bring your wife, I'll bring my wife, and everyone knows, okay, he's got AJ Lee for this show. And then
it's the family feud. Oh, you coming back?
And no one can hear it because I froze at an impromptu time as usual.
And you're back.
You have Punk go, you bring your wife, I'll bring my wife. And everyone knows. Everyone knows you're getting AJ Lee on that show. And you don't need to show her beforehand. You don't need to bring her out beforehand. If they do, great. But I think you can get away with not having her beforehand, as long as you almost explicitly say she's going to be at WrestlePalooza.
Okay, so here's what you do. You get a spider, and you let that spider run across the chyron of every single Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch appearance, okay? And then eventually that Chiron ends up being, or that spider is AJ Lee. I like the idea of Punk saying we're going to light it up in Indy and just drop the teases. You could do it that way. I just haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen them do this since Cody. And they haven't had, and like you said, they haven't had an opportunity to do this since Cody. So I don't know. Do you let the fans get so excited with an appearance before the show, or do you make the show all about the appearance? Because this is what's fun about the addition of this potential tag match. And we don't even know if this is a WrestlePalooza match. For all we know, this is going to be part of another event, right? Where are they in October?
October's Crown Jewel Perth.
So maybe they're going to do it in Perth. Wait, no, Seth is a champion, so you can't do that.
No, they're not doing the Crown Jewel nonsense anymore. Apparently, they scrapped that whole thing.
Did they? Okay, well, I'm not against
that's the rumor now. Who knows? They make it up as they go.
Yes, just like the draft.
The titles don't matter.
So there's a possibility then that you could do it in Perth. You could make it that. You won't have the same. It may not feel the same just because that show's going to be so early in the morning for most people who watch.
I don't think they're doing it in Perth.
Because Larry can't make the travel. I get it.
I mean, partially, sure. But they clearly want to load this show up. It's the fact that they announced it, the fact that they're doing Cena and Brock, they're doing Cody and Drew. They want to load this show up against All Out. And you load this up by putting an AJ Lee return. And that's why I think it's going to be, this is her big return as well. It's not going to be, oh, you saw her return on Raw. You saw her return on SmackDown. All right, you want to see her wrestle, watch WrestlePalooza. No. You want to see her return and wrestle, you got to watch this show. This is not just her wrestling. This is her big return as well. The first time she's on WWE TV in a decade. You want to see it, this is it. It's not tune into Raw. You've already seen her return. Okay, I can watch her return match later on. I can watch that the next day. Nope. You want to see that initial reaction, that return, and the match? You got to watch WrestlePalooza.
I hope somebody brings up the fact, if she does come back for WrestlePalooza, that she is 0-3 in Indianapolis. Lifetime. Okay. And just call her a big old loser. And that's how you do it. I was just checking that out. Yeah, listen, I understand people are saying, you know, it's got to be WrestlePalooza. It's got to be WrestlePalooza. I get it. I understand it. I'm wondering if there are other avenues through which you can introduce her and bring her on. I agree that this is a big coup for this particular show. It's also very funny to me that this show is suddenly becoming like this hot event that everyone needs to watch. I wonder why. Why would they be going so hard on this event? I wonder what they could possibly be doing this for. It's very strange. Anyway, I'll be at another event that night. So it's ironically, or coincidentally, I should say, it's another wrestling event. So I guess maybe that's what they have a problem with. The fact that I'm going to another wrestling event. Me specifically, no one else. Makes you think. Almost got there. You got a finger on the button. Hit a super chat. You ready?
Yeah.
Volib says Vanilla Fumble.
I'm Vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when we don't have the trial of SRS on main channel Monday. Call SP3. Call SRS. SP3's in the chat. He's around. Sean is
birthday Saturday.
Yeah, he's enjoying it. Let him enjoy his life.
Yeah, we do the trial on our channel. Main channel doesn't deserve the trial.
Pile driver finisher gets it.
Yeah.
Center of the universe, not just mine. Everyone's. You're welcome.
I just realized pile driver finishers like Avatar is the Undertaker.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
I thought it was like a disappointed man just like holding his head like that. I didn't realize it was the Undertaker. I thought it was just some masked dude who was very disappointed.
In small form, it almost looks like Blade. Just tax evasion. Anyway, where are we now? We did the main event. Becky joins. We don't know if AJ is going to be we don't know when or where AJ Lee comes back, or if. It'll be a fun one. Looking forward to that show. I'll watch it on the Monday. Everyone will be happy. I know that I have a show on this Saturday. But the Sunday, I'm going to be busy too. What else happened on the show? Becky did have a match. Well, that's true. I was going to say Becky did have a match with Nikki Bella. Yeah. Unfortunately, not the best match.
Yeah, I said everything on the show was fine. If there was something that wasn't fine, it was this match. I think people are looking too closely at the botches that happened and knocking too much from this match instead of the full body of work. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the full body of work was some great match or anything. They kind of just looked like they were on two different pages for the majority of the match. It just couldn't get it together. And it wasn't. It was fine at best. And if you did not think it was fine, fair.
Yeah, it was what it was. Friends, don't forget, leave a super chat, leave a humper chat, get in on the conversation. John Cena, Logan Paul. I think most people will agree. It was a match that went very well. It was very fun. Crowd is very into it. This was the Cena thank you, but I can't wrestle you match, where he took all of his favorites and did their moves and said, this is my homage to you. By the way, I don't have time to wrestle you. But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. Cena win. PLE win number 99.
Yeah.
Which means he can't win another one. Like, that's going to be it. They're going to give him the Tanahashi treatment. Tanahashi G1 100 wins. Cena's going to get it. And you know what? Michael Cole slipped up and he said that he's going to retire in January. Baby, we're back. Tanahashi, John Cena in the Dome. It's back on, baby. It's happening. That's the big moment.
He's not retiring in January.
He is now. In my head canon, he is. Whatever Michael Cole says goes.
Yeah, Michael Cole apologized because he was wrong.
Son of a bitch. Most influential journalist in the 21st century, and this is what he does to me. I had faith in you, Michael. I had faith in you. Ruined it. Anyway, John Cena got win number 99 in the PLE category.
Yes, he did. This was a good match. It was like most Logan Paul matches where it was carefully curated, yeah, and well thought out. Like, make sure you hit all these spots, and they hit all their spots. Like, good on them. I don't think there was anything wrong with this match or anything. Again, probably a match that went a little too long, but it's John Cena. I'm not gonna hate that John Cena wants to go out there and try to do these big 25-minute matches like he used to. And Logan, for the most part, hits his moves well. He's got to stop doing the buckshot lariat, though. It used to look good. I don't know what the hell's happened. It hasn't looked good these last couple of matches that he's been in. Like, he pulled up. Maybe it's because the opponent is too far away, but he just pulls up short on it, and he like stops and then runs, and then it's the clothesline. Like, that defeats the purpose of the move. The slingshot motion's supposed to give you the momentum to make the clothesline, like, or the lariat, more effective. But because he stops all of his momentum doing the slingshot, it makes the move look stupid. And again, it used to look really good. Like, when he first did it, it's like, oh, he pulled that off nicely. But these last couple of times, it's looked like shit.
I think somebody just gassed him up too much, and now he got cocky.
I put a little bit on at least on Cena for this one, because Cena did look maybe a step further back than he needed to. But it's also, Logan just doesn't hit the move as smoothly as he did beforehand. Like,
old John Cena, full of himself and just only in it for himself. I knew it, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage, John Cena. Can't do anything for the business. Everything's in service of the business, but it's all for John Cena. I'm sorry. I've got go ahead.
Are you okay?
Never.
Okay.
I haven't been okay in years.
Fair.
I thought, again, the match was serviceable. The match was good. The match was fun. No, the outcome was never in doubt. At least I didn't think so. It always felt like John Cena was going to win. He was going to overcome evil Logan Paul. We're not going to talk about the time they were buddies and teamed up. It's fine. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. And Cena gets the win, and the crowd was very excited, which is what it was all about. And then he goes and he kisses the babies and he shakes the wife's hand. Wait, it's the other way around. But either way, he had a good showing. Gave that kid from Brussels a big hug and said, "I love you, man. I'm so sorry for my bad day that I had that one time on television." And the kid's like, "I got my phone out on time this time, John. I'm going to press record on time this time, John."
You know, Cena hated that heel turn.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the way he speaks about it, I hope when he's done in December, I don't care what podcast he's on, Logan's, Cody's would actually be hilarious.
Cody's would be perfect because he'd get a little tipsy.
Yeah. All right, he's got to be on Cody's podcast. And if it's not with me and Jensen, it's got to be on Cody's podcast. When he's on Cody's podcast, I hope he actually like gives truthful answers to this stuff. Because right now he's doing like, "Oh, you're asking me to spoil the show, and I don't want to spoil the show." Like, all right, fine, John. But he did a little bit of truthfulness when he was talking to Big E about, you know, how does it feel to be the old John Cena and get these reactions. He's like, you know, if something's not working, it's good to do cool moments and take swings, but you can't go against the energy of the audience and you gotta pivot. It's like, yeah, this man hated that shit. Like he had no desire to do any of that. But he's not gonna say no. He just, yes, I will do that. It wasn't good. Everyone knows it wasn't good. I don't think he was good in the role. He could have done a better job in the role. But Triple H is a fraud and he booked it poorly.
And The Rock, his job here was done. And he walked away.
The Rock's all thin and shit now.
Good for him. You know what happened? He saw what it did for Batista, and he's like, "God damn, that worked for him. All right, I need to slim down and just be. I can't be muscle bound anymore. I have to be a serious competitor in the movie scene." He's not going to burn bridges. He's just going to burn fat. Good for you, Dwayne Johnson. He ain't ever doing that match against Roman. He'll do it on a box office, but he ain't going to do it for a wrestling chant. France ain't going to get it. Saudi ain't going to get it. Vegas not going to get it. Toronto's not going to get it. LA's going to get it. Recorded and shown worldwide.
Yeah.
He'll do it on an indie in Hawaii for his family. That's what it's going to be. They're going to rent out the whatever stadium they need to.
They're going to try to do that shit against like All In next year. Like, all right, you want to watch this show at Wembley, or you want to watch The Rock and Roman at, I don't know, Vegas, because they just do everything in Vegas.
Whatever ECW show they want to bring up.
Yeah.
It'll be the new Heat Wave. Yeah, they'll run it in Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Where they're in London this year for All Out, or next year, I should say.
Yeah, they're back at Wembley.
They should just run like the France stadium again. Just run a giant stadium. Run Michigan. Run that 100,000 seat stadium in Michigan. See how you do. Why not?
They'll probably sell it out if they got Rock and Roman. I mean,
well, one could assume.
Like,
what if they did Rock and Cena thrice in a lifetime? What if we got?
They at least never build that as once in a lifetime. So,
which one?
Rock and Cena. Oh, Rock and Cena. Oh, they did build that. Sorry.
Yeah, that was, they did once in a lifetime, then it was twice in a lifetime. I'm back for thrice in a lifetime, baby.
Yeah, my brain was thinking Rock and Cody, but Cody and like Cody was in there somehow, and I understand that that's not what you actually said. My fault.
Roman and Cody was never touted as once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Like they could. They'll pull Cena out of retirement for a show against All In. They'll have Rock there.
They'll make him the special guest referee.
Yeah, just load up the show.
The entire Samoan family. It's just going to be their show. They're going to call it the Bloodline show. And it's going to go up against All In. You got enough of them. At this point, they can all fight. You know?
Easily.
They can all have a match without hallucinations. That's the thing. I've thought about this. When we get to Death Before Dishonor, a match without honor, a match without hallucinations would be quite the antithesis to Ring of Hallucinations.
Well, we got to do that we got to do that at the beginning of the show, though. We can't like get people off the drugs after they've already taken them.
All right, we're gonna take a 2-hour intermission.
So it's gotta
lots of water and snacks for sale.
It's gotta open the show, and then it's like, all right, don't take your drugs yet, folks. You gotta wait until after this match to do your drugs, and then you go from there.
This one guy produces an empty bag and just like, oh, damn it, I'm ahead of the curve. Don't do the drugs. Oh, too late.
He's got to leave. He's got to have the blindfold on. Like, if you've already taken your drugs, you've got to put your blindfold on because you will not properly enjoy this match.
They bring a box out, like a soundproof box. I'm like, get in the box.
Hold on. What if we do a blindfold match, but the crowd has the blindfolds on? Ever seen that before?
Yeah, it's called an XPW show.
Oh. That's a Ring of Hallucinations original right there. The crowd has the blindfold on. So they can only react to like, thigh slaps and mat hits. If someone goes to a table, they're like, oh shit, we think we heard a table break. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a blindfold match where the crowd is all blindfolded. You're welcome, everybody.
What are they chanting for? We can't see. We can't see shit.
Yeah, that's a great chant.
Turn the lights on.
Well, the lights will be on. They still can't see.
You won't
they got
see.
blindfolds on.
I know. That's the point. They can't see.
Yeah.
The match happens in a sleep deprivation tank. Listen, whatever we're thinking is better than what they're producing on Ring of Honor right now. Matches, good stuff. There were a lot of strong matches. The storylines, like we're a little low. We got a few things that went well on Death Before Dishonor, but like overall, come on, you give us this liability, this opportunity. Jeremy will knock it out of the park, and I'll help him refine the little things. We'll get everything looking right. There will be no streaming issues because we'll just stream it live on YouTube for free. We won't make you pay to start. We'll just get it right up, and you'll watch everything. Death Before Dishonor is a show.
We're gonna pretend that Ring of Hallucinations. We're gonna hit like The Rock's music, so people pop for the if you smell, and they'll think like The Rock is coming out, but he's obviously not. Anybody who removes their blindfold, kicked out. They're banned from the building.
Ejected.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that? Yeah, this will be a good time. We can't see shit. Yeah. You want to talk about Death Before Dishonor?
Well, we're just going to skip over the tag team title match? Wow.
Yeah, the Street Profits teased breaking up, and then they didn't tease breaking up, and then the Plague. They want you to know that the final move, it's called the Plague. No, you don't understand, Wade. They sat me down and told me the move is called the Plague. I didn't interview them. They just showed up in my trailer and said, it's called the Plague. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And Wade, where were you to save me? It's called the Plague. The finishing move is called the Plague. Do you understand? The Plague is the finishing move that the Wyatts use, and they won. They retained their tag titles on a match that was set up through SmackDown on Friday to get you there. And it was, we also didn't talk about the Donnybrook match. Well, that was a good, that's a match we're talking about. But anyway, tag titles, that's what happened. The Plague, Jeremy.
They're finally going to go with the Street Profits split and Montez Ford, right? I don't have any faith in it, though.
They're not going to.
I don't have any faith even if they do. Like, what are they actually going to do with Montez Ford? It'd be great if he, won the U.S. title from Sami Zayn. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't have any faith that they know what they're doing with Montez Ford as a singles talent. I just don't. So if they do the split, which I expect them to actually do, I don't have high hopes that it's going to lead to something actually sustainable for Montez Ford. He's going to get mellowed. He's going to chill for a while, do nothing, and then that's that. They might put him with Mello because they don't have any other idea.
They won't do anything because they're not going to break them up. Because by the end of it, they were pally pals. By the end of it, they're gonna do what they've been doing with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Nothing until their hands are forced to do something. And I hope that it's not an injury because that sucks, and I don't want to see anyone get injured. But they'll wait until their hands are forced. They didn't do anything other than the first, couple of tag ins. Nothing built further dissension except for the plague.
And they've been teasing it for a little while, though.
They have been, but they also teased Theory and Waller breaking up for a while.
Yeah. It'd be good if they actually just pulled the trigger on this and then just move Montez to Raw and Bianca to Raw, wherever you got to go with them. And, in this fake draft that they're going to have, and actually do something with Montez Ford. You got 1 million titles. Just do something with Montez Ford.
We know how good Montez Ford is as a singles competitor. I was watching him do this in 2023 going into Elimination Chamber in Montreal. We know what he's capable of. Dawkins too. When Dawkins was, being looked at as the secondary of the team, he was like, no, look at this shit I can do. And he brought himself to a level where people were like, oh, you cannot sleep on Dawkins either because he's got this too. There is room for both of these men as singles wrestlers, but this is also a company that doesn't know half of their roster's names. They don't use them so well. Could they put these two on a pedestal and try? Sure. Will they? I doubt it. I think they'll just keep them as a tag title, as a tag team, and just leave it at that and tease dissension. But whenever they tease dissension, they always just get back together and suddenly they're friends because brothers fight, and that's their whole shtick. It has been for years that they've been teasing it.
I think they're gonna split them. That doesn't mean they're actually gonna do anything with Montez.
That's the problem.
Dawkins. I wish they would. I hope I'm wrong. I hope if they do split them, they actually do something with one or both of them. But I don't have a whole lot of faith in that actually happening.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But that was the tag match. The Plague is the name of the move. Don't forget.
Yes.
The Plague. Yes. They set you down. They let you know. The Plague. The irony being I am Joe Gacy. And finally, the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. They're finally doing it, Jeremy. Rusev crush. He crushed the spine of Sheamus. This match was a little slow to start, but it picked up. Once they started battling outside the ring, once they started introducing the toys, it became a really, really fun match. Listen, two guys who are friends beating the shit out of each other, that's good for me. I'm happy with that. The white noise through the tables from the barrels, that looked messy. That looked like it hurt. Rusev, he took the bump, great. But like you're going through a table onto mats, and it looked like it hurt. But other than that, this was a really fun match. They beat the crap out of each other, as they should. And then by the end of it, Sheamus gets choked out with the shillelagh and the chicken wing or whatever it was. Rusev wins, and he's now going to go after what? Who's the Intercontinental Champion on Raw?
Dominic.
Dom Mysterio. Oh, Rusev and Dom Mysterio? Okay, I can see that. Maybe AJ and Rusev.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah, AJ might win it tonight. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, we shall see if Rusev, that's where he goes. I don't know if that's where he's gonna go. Like it might be a tag team situation. They might just pair Rusev and Sheamus and be like, I respect you, brother man. And it's like, okay, we're just friends now. Sure. Why not?
You could tell Sheamus after the match had that look of like, oh, can't believe I tapped out, but also kind of turned on by that. Not that way, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He respected the beatdown. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It could be that. So Ryan saying the bar 2.0. It could very much be that. But also, imagine if it's not that. And Rusev actually goes after the Intercontinental Championship. AJ Styles winning the title tonight is a possibility. Carrying it all the way through to Bound for Glory, where he challenges. Who knows?
There's not even like an inkling of, we're going to get AJ Styles for this show, which maybe it happens closer to the show, but we've just kind of dropped that one.
Not only have we dropped it, we've realized that they're in Australia during that time.
Yeah.
So unless he's not doing that tour, I don't think AJ's going back to TNA for Bound for Glory. Could be wrong, but the way it feels is he's not. So we'll see. Give him the Intercontinental Championship and let him run it for the next few months. Or do you do Dominic ekes out a victory and he's going to go on to the Triple H show? That's next week.
I kind of think Dominic's just going to win tonight, and then they're going to double Dom champ here.
Yeah, I think it's more likely you do that. But again, AJ with the title, with the Intercontinental Championship, would be fine. And then Rusev would go after him. But like you said, Rusev going for a tag team deal, that's also a possibility. Those are the two kind of ways you can look at it right now. Because he's not going to go after the world title. He's not going to go after Seth. He's not going to go after Cody because Cody's got to go with Drew first. Maybe he aligns with Drew after the fact, but then he's just doing another tag situation. I don't know. Do we remake the what were they called?
No.
The League of Nations.
No.
Yeah, we're back.
Drew wasn't in League of Nations.
No, but he could be. He could be.
No.
They need a Scottish. They need a Scot.
No.
Who's the Mexican they can bring in? Ray? It's about time.
Why would Ray be there?
Why wouldn't he? You got to find a different Mexican to do the show.
Stop
or to do the team.
Stop it.
What? Just finding a new one. We're putting it together. Dragon Lee, let's go.
These aren't heels.
They don't need to be. You can turn them.
You're gonna turn Drew babyface?
No, they're allies of convenience, Jeremy.
They're already doing that. Stop.
They're no longer friends nor enemies. No man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. He can join. He's from the Netherlands. He's Dutch.
Stop.
What? I'm trying to make things work. Andrade, there you go. He can be the Mexican part of the group.
Stop all of it.
Why are you so anti-fun?
Andrade is at least okay. Makes some sense. You're trying to put like Ray in here and Dragon Lee. It all sounds terrible.
Terribly great.
No.
Anyway, that was the PLE. I don't know if you have anything to add from that. We ran through those matches. Overall, it felt like a Raw.
It was a fine show that went a little too long, but had some stuff on it.
That's it.
Crowd was hot. Ticket prices were extortionate. And they didn't seem to care.
I mean, 31,000 people later, they definitely didn't seem to care.
They broke the gate record despite having 15,000 less people than the Taylor. People complain about Taylor Swift ticket prices. And here's WWE bragging about breaking the gate record with 15,000 less people in the building. What?
People paid. Well, also, I wonder. I'm curious if the gate. This absolutely goes to the gate. The on location stuff, that absolutely goes towards the gates. And with the amount of money that they're charging for the on location stuff, we're talking $30,000, $35,000, $40,000. Yeah, that will do it. And you're getting front row seat. That's 20 people. Someone else can do the math for me. That's a good chunk of change right there. You can make those numbers hit pretty quickly. People are willing.
This is not a good thing.
I agree. But again, there are also people who care to the point where they'll wait until the ticket prices go down, and they did. They did do 2 ticket slashes. If you're willing to wait, you can get a good ticket at a reasonable price. But if you're someone who needs to be in a specific seat or a specific part of the arena, then yeah, you're gonna pay FOMO prices. You're going to.
Absurd.
I've told the story before. I've outed my friend Jamanika for this. When we went to the first Grand Slam, her FOMO was the reason why I overpaid for tickets when I knew that I didn't have to spend $60 per ticket for the upper bowls behind the stage. I knew I could have gotten better, but I wanted to make my friend happy. I want to sit next to Post Malone, by the way.
15,000 people less, though, Joel. This isn't just
But those 15,000 people could have been cheap seat people. Meanwhile, $40,000 to make up those other 15,000 people. Like, you can do it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I understand where the money's coming from. I understand where they're getting it. They're adding in hospitality to make things more reasonable when you do it. Again, Third time we're bringing this up. $70,000 WrestleMania ticket? Yes. Are you getting a ticket to WrestleMania both nights? Yes. Are you getting front row, whatever, rows 1 through 3 or whatever it is? Yes. But are you also getting a week's worth of extras and some exclusives? Yes. Is it for you? Well, it depends if you have $70,000 to spend or Klarna. You can justify the reasons for it. I'm not saying I would do it, and I'm not saying that it's my cup of tea. But there are people there, like Mr. Wagon full of belts at a WrestleCon, getting people to sign them. They have the money and they have the passion, and that's what they want to do. There are people who will spend an exorbitant amount of money to go and watch these shows and have these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. We're lucky. We have been lucky enough that if we want to, or we are into that, we have the opportunity to have one-on-one time with a lot of these wrestlers because that's part of the job. A lot of these folks are not wrestling media, so for them to go meet their favorites, that's a big deal. It's like it's a meet and greet at a concert. Same idea. They get the opportunity because they don't do what we do, so they work their job to be able to do this in a different light. It's like, I understand it. I can't justify the money, but I can, like myself, but I can understand where the value is when you cost that much. 15,000, I know, 15,000 people. I get it.
No, I mean, yes, but even if you get all of these things, the price for that is still way too extraordinary. You can't do all that for 50,000. You can't do all that for 30,000. You have to do 70,000.
They can and they do because they get the money. That's what it is. Because people will pay until people are, well, of course it is, but until people are unwilling to pay for it, they are going to do it. And that's the other thing. Like, people who are saying can't justify $70,000, go and look at that spreadsheet. You will see a lot of stuff that you can justify for $70,000. Experiences, 15 minutes with Triple H alone just makes me cackle every time. But that's part of the deal. That's part of the money. You're getting these experiences. When we talked about last year, the John Cena $20,000 lunch, and they were taking you to a 5-star Vegas steakhouse. Like, they were taking you to a nice place. They weren't going to cheap out.
We think.
Give you, well, we know, we were told in the actual rundown had it was a 5-star Vegas restaurant. So like, people were paying. Same thing with Brunch with Bailey was a recent one. The On Location for SummerSlam, like, that exists. People want to pay. People will go. And also, On Location is finally smartened up to asking some of the creators in the space to come and do vlogs at these events and show you that the value isn't just what the sticker shock is. I'm not going to pay that personally, but I understand the people who do, because it's an experience. We are now in a world where you're more invested in the experience than you are anything else leading up to this.
All I'm saying is you're bragging about the highest gate in the arena history, and you did it with 15,000 less people than a Taylor Swift concert, where the big to-do about all of her concerts is ticket prices are outrageous and how can people afford this. You're bragging that you beat her with 15,000 less people. Stop paying these prices, everybody. Don't go to these shows.
I agree. Listen, if I could get paid more, I'd be much happier as a human being. I'd be much happier. More money, more problems, I get it. But there's a balance. There is a balancing point where you make just enough money that you can save up and you can also get through it. Single Blue Note, the Panda, which is a great name, sends a super chat saying 70,000 is to filter out those $30,000 scrubs. No, I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Oh man, I get it. Someone's saying they want to spend $70,000 to hang out with us. Go ahead. Just send it to my PayPal, paypal.me/JoelPearl. That's all you got to do. $70,000. I'll buy a nice new camera. We'll make it nice. We'll make it good. Well, that's what we do. It's fine. It's fine. I get it.
Nobody pays $70,000 for anything that isn't like a car.
I mean, listen, it's their money. And people are saying, I spent X amount of money for this event. That's fine. You do it within your means, and you do it for the passion of what you care about. Not everyone's going to care about wrestling to the degree that some of these people do. And also, these folks are almost certainly not watching us or Sean or Wade or Brian or Dave or Mike or any of those channels. They're probably seeing it on like random TikTok videos, and most of them are probably fake shit anyway. But like they're not invested in whatever we are doing for the most part. They are invested in watching their wrestling that they love so much, and they'll spend the money for it. It's a lot of money. I won't pay it, but somebody absolutely will and continues to. Yeah, capitalism blows. I get it. I'll be the first one to tell you, but I get it. Absurd. Yeah. Hey, listen, when I saw a green shirt guy at the show, and I was like, "Are you serious? You went all the way to France for this? All right, good for you." Now I definitely want to know what you do to get there, and how, and where, because it's wild. What kind of job are you working?
Oh, this is absurd.
Yes, it is, because we see it, we experience it. That's what it comes down to. $70,000. That's sticker shock for some. It's work for others.
If it's not sticker shock for you, let me get some money.
Please give me all your money. $70,000 this way. Let's go. We'll make sure your WrestleMania is a good time. We finished the PLE. Shall we talk about that before Dishonor?
Sure.
Paul Walter Hauser is in fact a wrestler. Had a great match with QT Marshall, who once again proves that he can and will have one of the best matches on the card by just doing the craziest, funniest shit. God bless those two. I love that match.
Yeah, why are people shocked that QT and Paul Walter Hauser had this great match? Like Paul Walter Hauser,
you know why?
Paul Walter Hauser had a great street fight with Janela not too long ago. I know Janela is the best carry job wrestler in the history of the business, but QT is great at what he does as well. Like TV to match of the year ratio, QT's there with it. He has one TV match a year. It's always the match of the year. I know this match was everything I thought it would be. Honestly, I expected them to deliver in this setting with a fight without honor. It had a nice little setup as well. Like if you were watching the television, or if you go back to Revolution, QT is so good in these spots. And Paul Walter Hauser, I don't know if Paul Walter Hauser like moves the needle or anything, because he's done a lot of indie shows. He's done some MLW stuff. He did this show. I don't know if Paul Walter Hauser adds like a single extra buy. I don't know how popular. Like he's an Emmy winner. He's in Cobra Kai. He does stuff that people know, but are there like diehard Paul Walter Hauser fans? I say like, I'm not saying that to be mean, mind you. I'm surely not trying to like put him down or anything. But you know, like Jelly Roll shows up. It's like, yeah, there's some like diehard Jelly Roll fans that are like, oh wait, Jelly Roll has a new song. Jelly Roll is on this show. Jelly Roll is doing this. Are there like diehard Paul Walter Hauser fans out there who are like, yeah, I gotta watch this Paul Walter Hauser guy wrestle? I just don't know. And it's not all about that. Don't get me wrong. It is like, oh, Paul Walter Hauser is doing interviews with like the New York Post and Variety and all this stuff. And that helps gain attention on whatever he's doing. And if like you just get one extra set of eyes on that, then you're good. I just don't know if there's people out there who are like, gotta see what Paul Walter Hauser is doing. Like, this is my guy. I gotta see the latest Paul Walter Hauser project. And if they're following that over to wrestling. All that said, the man's actually good at pro wrestling. And this was a fantastic match.
So I don't necessarily agree with the equating. I understand your point of Paul Walter Hauser versus like when Jelly Roll comes in, it's a big deal because Jelly Roll's this international superstar musician, blah, blah, blah. They're producing Jelly Roll as an outsider coming in, and it's like, oh my God, look what he can do with a few months of training. Whereas with Paul Walter Hauser, the idea is this guy's crossing over from the acting world where he's found success, but he's been wrestling, and also he's a big fan, but we're not trying to tell you he is the be all end all of anything other than he's a guy who respects the business, and he is someone that you may or may not have seen. And if you haven't seen him, by the end of the night, you're going to be like, oh, he actually gives a damn. He's doing it. I think it was Pile Driver Finisher says he does it for love of the game. And that's what it is. It's that AEW fan that loves a respectful outsider. That's what it is for Paul Walter Hauser. He comes in, he respects the house, he respects the opportunity, and then he does the match, and he has a great match. And yeah, it's a plundered match, so you can say the purists are going to hate it, but also for those who understand what this is, then they're going to get him. And QT is this lovable, sorry, not lovable, hateable character. Sorry, I looked at the word lovable on my other screen. He's a hateable character, and people kind of get hyper focused on the character and not the guy who has abilities as a wrestler. But really, he's the perfect person to do this match with. And I think people saw that. And it was a highlight of the show, which had several highlights. But as others have mentioned in the chat, we don't know how much stock you can put into Ring of Honor from a week to week basis, let alone month to month. When they do these shows, they are fun. They are good to talk about, but you don't really expect much after that. There's not much moving along after that. But again, he was Paul Walter Hauser comes in, has a great match, and he'll move on to whatever he does next, or they'll keep using him, which I'm sure he wouldn't hate either.
I didn't need the Marsh QT giving him attaboy, pal.
Props, yes.
QT should have just fucking laid him out again.
Is this the beginning of a QT Marshall babyface turn? Maybe now he will be the lovable character?
I don't need all that. QT should just always be a dick. He should have kicked him in the dick afterwards and be like, you really thought you could step in here and beat me, you dork ass? That's what QT should have done.
I'm sure they'll revisit it at one point. This show had a lot of really great wrestling. We'll talk about real quick the Sami stuff. Sammy Guevara drops the 6-man tag titles to Shane Taylor Promotion. People have been really high on Shane Taylor Promotion for a long time. So for them to get their flowers and to win the 6-man tag titles was nice. And then this was all in service of what would be the tag title match later on in the night, where everyone's wondering, is it going to be one of the Von Erichs, which something our chat was talking about and you and I talked about on Friday. Could it just be as easy as one of the Von Erichs? I know Sammy also made a joke, or he commented about breaking the walls down during the pre-show, and people started getting on the Jericho mindset. And no, it ended up being Roosh. And looks like Sammy Guevara joins LFI, ditches those bums who never leave Texas except for this one time. And there you go. Sammy's the tag team champion now with Roosh. And then I don't hate it. But I also laughed when it was Roosh who would end up being the tag partner.
Sammy said, I'm going to give me a partner who doesn't fucking lose.
That's right.
That's how I'm going to make sure we're keeping these tag team titles.
Hell yeah. No, I thought that this was I thought this served its purpose. I think Sammy as a babyface is just not his style.
He's not good as a babyface. No, he's just not.
He came back and it was like, I'm a new dad, love me. And people were like, yeah, good for you. And then he does the babyface turn. He does the heel turn with this show. And I thought that was right for him. And especially, what I really liked was the fact that he comes out with the Von Erichs, does the match first, where he's getting booed to high heaven. And you can see that it's very clearly affecting him, quote unquote, in the story. So he goes and he got Roosh. And that's when he's like, no, now I can be my true self. This is what I always wanted to do. And I thought that was kind of strong storytelling from the Sammy side of things and getting into what this is about. And that is Sammy as a piece of shit heel again, who's never going to lose those titles.
Yeah. I'm glad Shane Taylor Promotions got the victory, got the 6-man titles. Hopefully something happens with them. I don't have a lot of faith that anything will. Sorry, that's just how things go in ROH. It'd be nice if there was some stock and equity put into them, but Shane Taylor was trying to go after the world title when Mark Briscoe had it, and that went nowhere. So I'm sure they'll do some matches. It'll be fine. But how much are they actually gonna how much is really gonna happen? with Shane Taylor Promotions in ROH, and how much are they gonna actually do stuff on the ROH television? Maybe they'll do some stuff on AEW television, but I don't know about with the 6-man tag team titles. Every time they're on AEW TV, they just lose. So, but it's still a good moment for them, and like I like that group. I just wish they would actually do something with that group. And then Sami and Rouge, like that's probably an act that'll be on AEW television because they put Rouge on TV, Beast Mortos is on TV. I think Tony still really likes Sami and wants to do various things with Sami. As a heel, I think he feels more comfortable doing those things, where as a babyface, he just wasn't like he put Dustin as the priority over Sami as a babyface. The Von Erichs were never really a priority. So I think that he's more likely to do something with Sami on AEW TV as a heel than he would have as a babyface. But that was a nice little through line with Sami and what's he gonna do and how's he gonna defend 2 titles for the show.
Yeah, so this worked for me, and I agree with what you're saying about Shane Taylor Promotions. It feels like they're using them to anchor ROH. Not that really means a lot, given their week to week is just kind of what it is. But when it comes to show, big shows like their pay-per-views, they use Shane Taylor Promotions a little bit more, and this is kind of their opportunity to show. But we still have one more, and I think that the women's pure title will be focused around what happens with Trish Adora. Is she going to be the last person to round out everyone has gold? I don't think so. We can talk about that in a second, but at least there's some sort of interest in Shane Taylor Promotion, and it was before. Before Ring of Honor was purchased by Tony Khan, there was an interest in Shane Taylor Promotions in general, and now they're bringing that back around, which again, I appreciate it. We'll see where it plays out. But again, I largely agree with you that Sami and Rouge will be put back on AEW television. There is more crossover these days with Collision and ROH, which I do not hate. I actually quite enjoy. This was something we talked about months and months and months ago, that this should have been the way they played it. Don't need them on Dynamite necessarily, but if you kind of cross them over with Ring of Honor and Collision, then not only does it round out the card, but it gives you a reason to want to watch one or the other show on a weekly basis. But Sami and Rouge being there would make perfect sense.
Yeah. We'll see if how much they get used on Collision moving forward. I think they will for a decent amount on Collision, even though they're ROH Tag Team Champions.
Tony Khan listens to the show. Confirmed. We spent so much time talking about the women's pure title.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was pestered about it, and he said, damn it, 17 minutes now, I have to do something. We have the tournament brackets. On Friday afternoon, they were released. We had the first match. Queen Aminata defeated Taya Valkyrie on the card. This was expected. I can't tell you it wasn't. Elsewhere, the quarterfinals include Billy Starks and Olympia from CMLL, Serena Deeb and Yuka Sakazaki, and then Deonna Purrazzo and Trish Adora, the former of whom, Deonna Purrazzo, showed up after the Queen Aminata match, and just to do a, hey, I'm still here, which was hilarious because it's like we spent 17 minutes to give you 17 seconds on air. Let's go. But no, it's good to see that this is finally happening. And as to who goes all the way, that's the next question. Is who's going to win?
It feels like it's set up for Queen Aminata, but she might be too AEW involved to want to put the peer title on her. But they, of course, don't care if the ROH champion's on AEW TV, and Queen Aminata is relatively protected. So I'm going with Queen Aminata just because they do stuff with her.
Should be Billy Starks because she wins the inaugural everything.
I'm fine with Billy. I'm fine with Deonna. Like, there's some good choices here. They've put a lot into Queen Aminata, though, and I don't know if they just want to beat her when she is a kind of maybe not a top star in AEW, but she's at least a featured star in AEW. And they don't like sending AEW talent to ROH to have them lose. They'll bring ROH talent up to AEW and have them lose. They don't like just putting the AEW talent on ROH to have them lose. I mean, we just mentioned Roosh there, and Roosh wasn't going there to lose that match. He was going there to win that match.
Could you imagine if he hadn't, though? Probably
Bandido,
shot up.
Bandido he's winning all of these matches. Athena, and it took her a while to get to the AEW point, but now she's kind of regularly featured on AEW. She ain't losing these matches. This would have maybe been an opportunity because at least Mina is AEW centric for the most part as well. But I understand why they didn't have Athena lose here. Yeah, they don't send AEW talent to ROH to lose. So that's why I'm going with Queen Aminata. Like maybe Thekla interferes. Just so somebody mentioned that. I know it's a peer match. Like you don't do interference in a peer match.
Yeah, these what you're looking. So Queen Aminata is in the semis. She's going to face the winner of Deonna and Trish Adora. And then on the other side of the bracket, Billy and Olympia, and then Serena Deeb and Yuka Sakazaki. I could see Serena Deeb going to the final. It screams Deeb and Aminata in the finals, just based on the history.
That was supposed to be the first round match.
Yeah, and now it feels like this is what they might end up in the final. I would love to see Deonna go, but she'd have to beat Aminata in the semis, and that's tough. And again, good Trish Adora beating Deonna is a possibility to keep Shane Taylor promotion strong all around. You could do that. And then Billy beating Olympia feels like the way to go. Although you could put a CMLL talent a little further, have Olympia versus Serena Deeb. But yeah, there's place. I mean, again, I'm as invested as they are interested in having this title, in that it will exist. It will be on the pay-per-views, but between those big shows, most people will just forget about it, which is unfortunate, but that's been the ROH way. Great show. Now what? And now what is usually 2-3 episodes of nothing and maybe a little bit of building before the big show. Well,
yeah, it was another great ROH show. We're not done talking about it, but what are they going to do in the meantime and between time? Just have these people keep wrestling on AEW television.
Hopefully they do. I can tell you who's going to keep wrestling all over television. That's Blake Christian. Swirl beats the Kingdom. The Kingdom pop up, and I'm like, are they still in their contract? Because they're going to lose this match anyway. Swirl wins. Blake Christian is. I think Vanilla Baby is going to stake his claim real soon for that world title instead. I think we're closing in on it, baby.
Okay, spoiler alert. I don't care. If you care about ROH,
if you care about Ring of Honor, just earmuffs in 3, 2, 1.
Blake Christian attacks Bandido on the upcoming tapings. I don't know when it's going to air because they're like 5 weeks behind on airing stuff, but he once again attacks Bandido. I'd love to get excited about this. They did this 3 months ago, and it led to nothing.
It led to Bandido winning the title.
What do you mean it led to Bandido?
No, I mean it was shit. It wasn't that. It was.
No, it led to Bandido and Hechicero. It didn't lead to anything.
You're right.
Blake Christian attacked him, and he held up the title, and nothing came out of that. Bandido just faced Hechicero. Before that, he faced Takeshita. Because I think he attacked him before the All In taping. And then he faced Takeshita All In weekend at Supercard. So I don't have any faith that Blake Christian attacking Bandido is going to lead to them facing at Final Battle or anything. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to say that it will be Blake Christian against Bandido, but I don't know if it will be. So we'll see. Bandido's on a great run right now. I don't think they're taking the title off him anytime soon. If you're going to take the title off of him, you gotta have the right guy to do it. I think Blake Christian is the right guy, but I don't know if they see Blake Christian as the right guy. Because Takeshita would have obviously been like, oh yeah, okay, this makes sense that Konosuke Takeshita is the guy to defeat Bandido. As long as Bandido's a tag team champion too, I don't think they're too keen on beating him anytime soon. So we'll see if that's the direction they go. If Blake Christian actually does get his title shot, they love touting his winning streak. They love saying how he's undefeated in however long, and then they don't actually give him a title shot off of anything. But Bandido and Hechicero was fantastic. Bandido is, I know he's in Wrestler of the Year conversation for a lot of people. I'm 100% behind that. Like, he's having great singles matches. He's having great tag team matches. Like, he's doing fantastic right now. And every time he is in the ring, like, you're getting a great match. Like, there's even the stuff that there's even the stuff in CMLL that's happening with him when he had the match with Dorado and everything. So it's been good stuff. Oh, SP3 saying it led to the Dorado match because he came out and made the save.
There you
Bandido.
go.
Okay. Didn't lead to Blake Christian getting the shot. That's all I care about.
So Final Battle's December 5th. That's Friday, of course. We don't have a show on Saturdays yet, unless Bishop Dyer comes over and does the weekend shows with Steve Macklin as we planned. Do we do a Saturday show if Blake Christian is available for an interview, freshly winning the ROH World Championship? Will we do a Saturday show for him?
If we can do a Blake Christian interview, yeah.
All right. That's the plan. We'll put it out into the ether. December 6th, you might see us on the air. Live from GalaxyCon. Well, one of us will be. The one of us being the interviewee. Yeah. the one being interviewed. The new.
If Blake Christian gets a title shot for Final Battle at GalaxyCon, I'll go to that show. That's the only way I'm going to that show, is if Blake Christian is facing Bandido for the championship. I'm not going otherwise, but I will go to it if that's the match.
You'll see a new Ring of Honor men's champion and women's champion crowned, because Athena's going to drop that belt to Billy Starks one more time. Gonna happen, baby.
Yeah.
They're gonna Blink 182 is gonna play them to the ring.
Could you imagine if, like, Blake Christian does get his title shot and he does come out to Vanilla Baby, and like I'm just in the building for it? Yeah, at GalaxyCon.
You can do it. I believe in this company. I believe in this company's ability to listen to our crazy ass ideas and make them happen. Jack Harlow plays Blake Christian to the, not even give him the karaoke entrance. Let Blake Christian sing himself to the ring, rap himself to the ring. And then Billy needs Blink 182 to play her to the ring specifically. That's it. House band Blink 182. They play everyone's themes.
I'm going to put it out there on Twitter because Tony Khan obviously checks my Twitter more than this show, although he clearly watches this show as well. I will attend ROH Final Battle if Blake Christian challenges for the ROH World Title and enters to Lovin' on Me by Jack Harlow. Which I can't, confirm that that part's gonna happen. But I'll just put bonus if he enters. There we go. All right. I've put it out there in the universe now. Everyone knows that I will be attending Final Battle only if Blake Christian challenges for the world title.
I won't go for the challenging you. Yeah.
They ain't beating Roosh.
Yeah,
Roosh ain't fucking losing.
He's not. The only person that's going to beat Roosh is PCO if they bring him in for a spot in ROH. That's it.
I don't want to see Roosh beat their asses. I want to see him have a banger against Bandido.
That's right. The bangers of Blake's banger on Bandido. That's the match we want. Oh, Athena beats Mina Shirakawa in the main event of the show. Were you surprised that this was the last match on?
Not really. I mean, Athena's headlined before. Honestly, like,
she has.
Even though Bandido and Hechicero turned out to be the better match, they put a lot into Athena, rightfully so, and Mina is heavily featured on AEW TV as well. And there was This is not to say that there was no story with Bandido and Hechicero, because they did set this match up well. There was more there with Athena and Mina Shirakawa. There was more of a story there with them. So no, it didn't surprise me that this went on last. I think Athena should always go on last at this point, because when that title reign ends, that's got to be the closing moment of the show. And obviously you can't just telegraph it by we're going to put it on last here after not putting it on last for the last couple of times. Unless you have, like, Bandido and Takeshita was a very obvious example of, okay, yeah, you kind of got to put that on last. But I understand if they put Athena on last just the entire time moving forward. Because who she'd face at Supercard where it wasn't her and... she faced Thunder Rosa. Yeah, I could understand why that wasn't on last over Bandido and Takeshita. But I do think there's an argument that she should always go on last, and I don't hate it if she does always go on last.
Yeah, her being the longest reigning champion in the brand should warrant her getting the last spot on the card. She should be the main event, given that she's held on to that title for as long as she has, almost 1,000 days. So you should absolutely give her the responsibility of carrying the main event. The Bandido match, like you said, both times the Bandido match has been the standout of the two, but you go with the prestige of the title holder in this case. And the match was fine. Again, there's not the entrance stuff with Blue Meanie was funny. I do give them credit for that. I thought that was really cute. But yeah, Athena wins, and really the match of the show was, to many's, to the surprise of no one, was Bandido and Hechicero having a hell of a back and forth. And once again, Bandido wins because the Don Callis family can't have anything nice. That's really the takeaway here.
Fuck the Don Callis family.
What do you mean? They're gonna
bunch of jerks.
Oh, they are a bunch of jerks. But you know what? There's a bunch of Canadians there, so I have to support them. Either way, I thought, again, both matches were different, delivered on their own ways. But yeah, the Bandido Hechicero match was just standout above the two. I quite enjoyed it. I think most people did. So you go out of your way to watch it. It's free. It's free on YouTube. The entire show is free on YouTube because they had issues with Honor Club, and they ended up putting it all up on YouTube streaming for free, which to me was nice. They made that during the Lee Moriarty and Shelwa match for the Pure title, and then they just went free from there. So there you go. Go watch it if you want. The whole show now is available for free. But at the time, streaming started during that match, which was about halfway through.
I wonder if they're just going to put all these shows on ROH or on YouTube for free.
You could do it with the membership plan. People have talked about this. Put it on a membership plan. But again, you need a good deal with YouTube and Google to make the money on this. And if you don't have that, then taking all the money through your own service makes more sense. It just comes down to dollars and cents at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Tony's already, I assume. I mean, maybe not, because he runs ROH like in conjunction with the AEW stuff. So it's not like he's booking separate arenas to do these tapings or anything. Like, I don't know if ROH is running at a loss or not with anything, because it's all AEW crew. I mean, maybe for the pay-per-views, because you got to pay the crew extra for that night. You got to pay the arena extra for that night and everything. Again, with residency, maybe it's a little bit different, but I don't know, like, if he's running ROH at a loss. I mean, I know he said that, he kind of took a loss on Death Before Dishonor because of the pay-per-view issues with everything. And I wondered how, I guess that's true. I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to.
Well, they're also giving a month back. They're giving a month free out of the.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, that was in the tweet. So the issue was,
okay.
So Bright Cove, who does the streaming for the platform for Honor Club, they were messed up. That's why they put it on YouTube and had no problems. So from there, he tweeted out. I can bring up the tweet, but regardless, he said we're also going to give a month of Honor Club as well.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense. I heard his comments at the press conference. I didn't see his tweet. Or if I did see it, I just misremembered that part. So my
Yeah.
fault
So
on that.
I'll
Yeah.
read it verbatim so
Okay.
people just know. This was from Tony. Due to issues with service provider Bread Cove, who haven't yet given a time frame for system repair, I've put the Ring of Honor pay-per-view streaming free on our ROH YouTube channel now. For this inconvenience of tonight's stream issue, we'll offer a free 1 month credit to all current ROH subscribers. So that's where
Okay.
that's where he lost money on it.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, because he mentioned at the press conference like he's taking a loss on it, but I don't think at the press conference he mentioned the 1 month free. So I was like, how's he taking a loss on doing on just putting the show on YouTube? But yeah, if you're doing 1 month free, then yeah, you are taking a loss on that. Good on Tony Khan to make everything right with that.
It was the right thing to do for sure. Otherwise, your service
That doesn't mean he had to do it.
I know, but I mean, your service that already has a leaky fan base, to be quite frank, is you want to retain as much as you can, and that was the right thing to do. You build some goodwill based on that, and I don't think it's not like he took a dive doing this. If there's 10,000 subscribers paying $10 a month, you can do the math of how much he really lost and how much you can make back in other mains. So I still think putting it up on YouTube, if you can get a good deal, is worthwhile, given that streaming issues are much fewer on a platform like YouTube. But again, it comes down to what makes sense for the financial gain.
Yeah, what makes sense on that, and even if it's not even like a financial gain, because again, I don't know if ROH is operating at a loss as is right now, because they're already putting a lot of the archive stuff on YouTube now. Like you're seeing more and more of that go up. They're putting select shows on YouTube as well. So if they just put the pay-per-views on YouTube, I don't think they want to do the pay-per-views for free, but obviously they have the partnership with YouTube where you can order the AEW pay-per-views for free on YouTube. So if they have that partnership to where you can just order the ROH shows on YouTube, maybe that makes more sense. But how many subscribers are there for Honor Club? Is it worth maintaining that service? And because it used to be Honor Club, and then you gotta pay an extra $40, $30, whatever it was, to get the pay-per-views, and now it just became, oh well, your $10 gets you everything on Honor Club, including the pay-per-views. You don't have to pay extra for the pay-per-views. Just depends on visibility and some financials, but also how much financials, because I think Tony might be okay because he might already be operating at a loss with ROH. So it might be okay continuing to operate at a loss if it means parlaying it into a bigger gain in the future.
I wonder if there's any worth or value in doing the TV show airs for free weekly. The pay-per-views or the bigger shows are behind the YouTube paywall, for example. This is going to YouTube specifically.
Yeah.
The YouTube pay-per-views become a $20 price tag.
I wouldn't do $20.
Well, no, because then you're already getting the TV for free. This is what I'm saying. It's like they're already giving you Honor Club at $10. I understand you've kind of you set the tone. You've cannibalized your show to that degree. But if you're giving the TV show weekly for free, then it's almost like you can tip the scale to say, hey, pay a few extra dollars and you get the pay-per-view as well. They only run for a year, 4 or 5. So I don't think that $20 is that big of a deal. I get it. It's a 50% hike or it's a 100% hike, but like you can get away with $20 versus 50 for say.
I would do TV shows for free, $10 for the pay-per-views. Keep it at 10.
You're really devaluing the show though.
It's already $10 on Honor Club, and you get the TV shows and everything on top of that. $20 is, I'm not saying it's a lot, like, all right, $20, but it adds up if you're going to do 5 a year. And maybe you can pull this off when they move to Max, and Max pay-per-views are a little bit cheaper, but AEW itself has added more pay-per-views over the past couple of years. So it's not just $20 for the ROH pay-per-view. You're probably, if you're watching ROH, you're definitely an AEW fan. So you're probably already paying 40 or whatever it is for the AEW pay-per-view on top of that. So now you're asking people to pay $60 select months for 2 pay-per-views. That just becomes a lot for people. And I know like it's still cheaper than other alternatives and whatnot, but when you already have a pay-per-view model for AEW, which works, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but you already have a pay-per-view model for AEW, asking people to pay $20 for ROH on top of the AEW pay-per-views, I think when they're already $10 on Honor Club, that doesn't seem like a Tony move to be like, hey, I know you're already paying $10 and you're getting the TV and you're getting the pay-per-views, but now just pay $20 for the pay-per-views. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe you can package deal for AEW and ROH pay-per-views of like,
Sure.
you get $40. How much are AEW pay-per-views on YouTube? $40, $50?
Yeah, $49.99.
Okay, so maybe you do a package deal on those for it. But I think asking people to pay would you pay $20 for an ROH pay-per-view, Sean?
No.
Hold on. Add the context. The idea.
What's the context?
The idea is you move to YouTube, the weekly shows become free, and then the pay-per-views move to $20 instead.
The pay-per-views are $10 right now as far as Honor Club, and you get the TV show as well.
I know, and you're unlocking the TV from the paywall, you're putting it for free, and now you're adding the pay-per-views are going to be $20 instead.
You're still asking people to pay $10 extra a month for less content.
What I don't understand, like, we have like 4 or 5 different agents that sell ads for us. Like that, like we got Podfrog, we got Andy King, who is like my agent. We've got Kate that sometimes sells them. I do it. Why are these companies, at least some of them, not just using their dedicated own ad sales teams, hitting up sponsors and being like, okay, we're going to run this special on YouTube and you can be our presenting sponsor, or you can do this, because it's going to be more than what you would get in subscriptions on Honor Club in general. Guys, I cannot tell you the number of times I've hit up people specifically in AEW and said, turn members only on your YouTube, make it $1, make it anything. And then at least if people are going to post ignorant shit in your comments, they got to pay to do it.
Paid for it.
Like their comment section is hellscape.
It's abysmal. It's horrible.
Yes.
And they've not done it.
WWE is the same thing. WWE is the same thing with their shows when they air anything, whether that's Saturday Night's Main Event internationally or if it was the post-show pre-shows, like same garbage.
Yeah, nonstop. It's so annoying to see, and I'm like, it's free money that you guys are just throwing away. I don't understand it.
It's why I give kudos to TNA for at least having used that service for as long as they did until they decided they could make more money doing, or not, whatever. We all know the conversation with moving to TNA Plus and why they wanted to do it. But at least when they were doing it from Twitch, moving to YouTube, like we saw the vision, we saw the money, we saw the opportunity, and it made sense. Now, other companies could follow that and do pretty well for themselves if they so choose.
I'll tell you what's wild. Like when we had our channel like nuked briefly in 2019, early 2020, I had so many people say, you all should just be on Twitch anyway. And I'm like, you guys do not understand the limitations of Twitch as a broadcaster, like keeping your stuff, archiving your stuff, reusing your stuff. The reach is minuscule as compared to YouTube. The ability to embed things from YouTube that would just play better. Like YouTube is legitimately the best video platform for that type of stuff. The ease of accessibility, the audience base, all that, the ability to randomly, and I mean, it doesn't help us a lot because unfortunately, we don't appeal to the lowest common denominator that much. To jump over and be not I say that much and then I remember your thumbnails. Yeah. But there we go.
Hey man,
it's frustrating. But yeah, Twitch is not a good one. Not a good one.
My apologies. Everybody. I don't think Sean meant to break me in that way. Maybe he did. Maybe he was shooting and using okay.
I was shooting a little bit.
All right.
I was shooting a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have some very, very interesting news on Fightful Select today, and also have the Q&A show that drops today. Please subscribe. How am I feeling about the Bengals, Sean? I have a channel called Common Bengals W where you can hear that.
How you feeling about your fantasy football team that we did during the entire first hour of Clash in Paris?
Well, it's a lot better than Rob Wilkins. Yeah. I'll tell you that much.
If you need a receiver, Wilkins has you covered.
I feel bad. Like I've never liked Sleeper as a format, and Jarrett Bailey's like, I gotta use Sleeper. Gotta use Sleeper.
That asshole, Jarrett Bailey.
I don't get it. And then I see this dumbass AI auto draft.
Yeah.
And it like there were 2 teams that were auto drafting, and I think out of their first 8 picks, 7 were wide receivers, which then affected everybody else's draft as a result of that, because all the wide receiver depth was gone at a much earlier time. So
yeah, it was we did all that during the Roman beatdown segment. That's how long that segment was. We were able to finish our entire draft.
A full draft.
Yeah.
A full draft.
Good for you guys. That's a good waste of time. A good use of time.
I told Andrew, I was like, you good on the first segment? Because I got a fantasy draft. He's like, yeah, no problem. I was like, hopefully we'll be done. I'll be able to get the second segment. And
the first segment,
plenty of time.
You gave him a quarter of the show.
Yeah, we had plenty of time for this, for me to be done with the fantasy draft by the time the second segment started. Like, oh, we're good.
Amazing.
Insane. Sleeper is my favorite app to do fantasy football. Sorry, this isn't a super chat, but listen, it's not a bad app to use, but as far as drafting and all that stuff, boy, I felt really bad for the people that had to auto draft in that situation.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was bad. It was bad.
And it screwed me over on my first overall pick a couple years ago, and I'll never forgive Jarrett Bailey for that.
Who'd you get?
Oh, remember? Like, Jarrett was like, this is the draft order, and I had the first pick. And then we entered the draft, and it was random, and I had the last pick when we did the draft.
Well, I mean, it also... For Rob, auto drafted a kicker at like number 8, yeah. And then it made a sound. It goes, huh, like that. So like, I'm like, why did you automate that sound? Your computer did the pick.
Even the computer was like, we know this is bad, but we're just gonna pull a rib on you and give you a kicker, so we can. I
felt so bad for him. Fortunately for him, it's a two flex league, which is fucking stupid. Also. 2 running back, 2 flex league. What that? I'm in a dynasty PPR tight end plus league now that I got to draft in tonight. Like, I guess tight ends get their shit boosted. I don't know. But I'm just like, all right, whatever. But I want to know, Jarrett Bailey, why? Yeah, let's do 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. Let's do that. Yeah, well, let's have meaningful plays for a fantasy football team of people who are going to receive for 430 yards this year. Let's do that.
Jarrett's the football guy, too. You'd think he'd
had to do sleeper. Had to do sleeper.
Steelers guy is what he is.
He still follows the league very closely.
Yeah, we all follow something.
Well, Jarrett, follows football. Like, he's
doesn't he cover football?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He follows all the teams. I just follow my
team.
I'll
tell you what else he followed me the first year that we did that, because I won the whole damn thing. And as long as I win every league that I'm in at least once, I'm very happy. But I have joined 2 new leagues this year, so I'm not 4 for 4 anymore. I gotta win 2 of them. I want
to join a dynasty league, but I don't have enough friends who I know do it.
Well, I mean, I had a friend that I grew up with that invited me to this one, and I was like, shit, okay. Why not? Why not? And he's like, you're already in 3. You good? I said, what else do I have to do besides work? This is work for me.
Figuring out the draft time was work. Because like, can we do Saturday? Can we do Monday after Raw? Can we do Sunday? I'm like, we had to
finally. It was my birthday, and they still like, so Saturday, right? I'm like, no, dumbasses.
And then he finally remembered he was going to the Penn State game, and that was the reason we didn't do a Saturday, not because of your birthday, because Jarrett was going to college football. Yeah.
And I even said, listen, give me the first pick, and we can do it on my birthday. I thought that was reasonable.
Honestly, it was.
I thought it was pretty reasonable. And then
yeah.
Riccacino gets it. Did I ever tell you the
more
Riccacino
chicks,
story about my wife?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. My wife was like, oh my God, I didn't know Riccacino did all this really gross stuff. I was like, Kara, what are you talking about? Sorry, I doxed my wife there. She's like, I saw all this stuff he did in Louisville and all that. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, he seemed so nice when I met him. She was reading stuff about Rick Pitino.
Yeah, you've mentioned that at least to me. You mentioned that to me before.
I didn't know this one. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it is funny because he is like the most calm, mild-mannered, lovely human being on the planet is Riccacino. It's like, what?
Like, why are you working with him?
What could he have done? And why wouldn't I have heard about it by now? And I was like panicking. I'm like, man, I got pictures with this guy. What's going on here? No, Rick is fine. And now Rick Pitino has been embraced by our city again. Yeah. So go figure. Yeah. Go figure. Yeah. All right, I got to go film this Q&A show. FightfulSelect.com. See you guys.
Bye, Sean. You're on trial this week. Show up.
No, he ain't showing up.
We'll see.
You just have to just serve him his papers at the last second.
He'll probably show up to like the Dijak interview tomorrow.
That's true. He probably will. Blue Note sent a super chat saying for SRS breaking Jeremy.
Yeah, that was an inside shoot there. That's why I
oh dear.
Cackled the way that I did. My fault, everybody.
Raw is at 2 p.m. Eastern. You got a little under 2 hours to watch, or until it's live. They're in Paris at the same arena they just.
We're talking about Collision.
Hologram is getting a holobad.
Hell yeah! Finally, a feud for Hologram as he's been undefeated for over a year.
The only reason I can't stay to watch Collision, I know people are gonna get on my ass about AEW. My wife is out with my kid, and they are on their way home, so I have to be. So? I said I had a hard out. This is as hard as I'm getting because they, there we go. So I'm working on it. So I apologize. I don't have much time to talk about Collision. To me, Collision was fine. I enjoyed watching Collision. I also didn't take much stock in most of what was going on Collision because the one thing that stood out to me, of course, was the hacked hologram. And I was like, this is the most Tony Khan was 13 when I thought of this moment. And I think it's very funny. I know people have already drawn the line and been like, oh, it's Sin Cara versus Sin Cara Negro versus Sin Cara Azul. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. But I don't agree with that because we haven't seen it yet. So we'll see where that goes. I don't hate it. FTR versus Philly, Zeno I was mentioning, is absolutely something that they need to do for the rest of this residency. They should just run down the crowd at every opportunity.
They should fight fans.
They should fight fans. By the end of this, they're going to take 2 fans from the audience, and that's going to be the main event of Collision the last night they're in Philly. And finally, they're teasing what looks like Josh Alexander calling out Kenny Omega. And is that the all-out match?
Maybe.
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, Josh at home in Toronto would be interesting to watch. Kenny in Toronto is something you want to do. I like the idea of giving Josh a standout match because he's been the Don Callis Family loser up until the last couple of weeks where he's getting the pinfalls in the matches he's in. So maybe this is the start of giving Alexander some rope to start winning and start moving up. I like it. So we'll see where it goes. I see SP3 saying it's the Green Ranger storyline, which I get that. It could be that.
Hologram needs to play the flute.
He does. Maybe he will.
Bring out the Zord.
Hologram Tull. Jethro Hologram.
The Daniel Garcia, John Moxley stuff's good too.
Yes. I was going to say, I like that they're giving one wrestler on the undercard a main character for each residency. It was Kyle Fletcher for the last one for Chicago. For Danny, it feels like he's getting the main character residency for Philly. If they're going to take a character and focus on that one person for the entirety of one space, the crowd gets behind this one person in the one place that they're going to. You can use that moving forward, and making Danny Garcia the main character for Philly, along with FTR, obviously, in a different way. I think it works. So again, Collision, the matches are the matches. They're good. They're fine. They rarely move much story forward, but this time they've done a couple of things that make you look forward to where they're going for All Out and the rest of the residency. And I appreciated that.
I hope they don't drop Mark Briscoe and MJF, because feels like Mark is now moving on to the Don Callis family, and I don't think that should be the case.
Everyone hates the Don Callis family.
I mean, fair. I just said fuck the Don Callis family.
You did. So it's just proving the point.
With them. But I also think Mark Briscoe should still want to kill MJF. He literally said, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, you can't do that. Don't do that. I hate most. Don't do it.
The most he's done is getting tied up and almost burned and then stopped by security.
This is, by the way, something that I will give Seth Rollins full marks on. He said, "I'm going to end your career," CM Punk, yesterday, when he could have said, "I'm going to kill you," with the parabolic mics going and you could hear him talking. He never said the words, "I'm going to kill you," because he knows the boundary. Do things that you can do in the ring and things that you can come back from. And
also, there should just be more murder.
There should be more murder, but that's not up to us. That's up to Charles Mason.
There should always be more murder.
Absolutely. Raw tonight's in Paris at La Défense Arena. The Intercontinental Championship's on the line. Dominic, mysteriously, don't know who did that article, but you might want to fix it. Takes on AJ Styles. Did you fix it since then?
It should be. If
this
not,
is from
our
the
website's broken.
The 2 matches added. I haven't reset it. Yeah, it's done. Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. I just hadn't refreshed the page since we started the show. Women's World Title situation will be addressed. Roman Reigns update. Find out that he's going to be a great Street Fighter. Kabuki Warriors take on the Judgment Day, and the New Day and Grayson Waller take on the War Raiders and Penta. Hey, the War Raiders are back. They're still alive. Good for them.
Yeah, it's a show. You know, hopefully we get some. I guess the clarity on the women's world title is like the biggest thing since they've delayed that for 2 weeks now. And the matches are Dominic and AJ should be good. Crowd will be into that. So there's at least that. I assume we get something with Seth and Becky and some type of promo, but we'll see.
Given that they're doing the Roman Reigns update, I assume that's when they'll bring everyone out and start going towards whatever's next, moving away from Roman Reigns and Seth and do the Becky and then CM Punk. And yeah, I could see that happening. But either way, show's on at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Netflix with your NordVPN. Or you can just, oh no, it's on. No, sorry. It's Raw. It's Netflix everywhere. Sorry. We watch everything on Netflix here in Canada. That's what it is.
You don't need a VPN.
You can get one. It's still nice to have. They got their free plugs. Jeremy, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Got a big week on the Fightful Overbooked this week. Everybody, we've got Donovan Dijak tomorrow. We've got Bishop Dyer on Wednesday. And we've got Matthew Justice on Thursday, all at 11. So you don't even have to worry. Oh, one person's at 10, 10:30, 11. No, they're all at 11. So you tune in for the first hour where SB3 and I will not talk about wrestling on Tuesday and Thursday. And then we'll welcome a guest. And then we won't talk about wrestling for the last half hour.
Wednesday as well. I don't know what you guys are going to do because I'm not here on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I saw Joel's running from the grind this week.
Stop it. No. Full disclosure, my wife's grandmother passed away. God bless, 92 years old, but she passed away last week. The Tuesday, Wednesday are the days where they're doing stuff. So I won't be here on Wednesday because the funeral is Wednesday, literally 10 a.m. So can't make it. Someone will fill in, whether that's SB3 or somebody else. The call has been made, but I won't be here on Wednesday. So apologies for that. Instead, you guys will get the Dijak and Bishop Dyer interviews without me. You were never going to get the Dijak interview with me because that's tomorrow. And yeah, that's the way it is. But go watch those interviews.
Fine, you're not running from the grind. I apologize.
That's okay. Typically, it's
have
fine.
You have a legit reason.
This time I have to do it. Leave a thumbs up on the way out. Jeremy, you know who he is. You know who I am.
Zeno Hour won August because it was rigged.
Yes,
I didn't even tally the votes. He won.
We start anew tomorrow over on Fightful Overbooked. That's our sister channel. Go subscribe now. Get in on it. 10 a.m. Eastern. We're live every day doing the show. Jeremy will be here. SB3 will be here tomorrow. You know who I am. You know who he is. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.